COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
Hey gang, yes, this is the very first time I haven't been live since we began this show at the beginning of isolation. For good reason. I have to go to a funeral up in the Sudbury area for my Aunt Ida. Lovely lady, absolutely lovely lady, so it's a great loss. I have been working on a mini doc. It's just I've never published it anywhere. I finished it actually last year. So it's called Invisible Voices. And it is about giving voice to those who are on the streets. And I'm hoping that you will hear those voices. Please call in, write in, whatever, and let me know what you think. And I promise I am back live tomorrow. Still, watch this.
We know it's socially unacceptable to ignore someone, unless they're homeless, right? Don't make eye contact, look the other way, walk faster. All they want is money. My money. I don't know them anyway. Well, here's your chance to get to know them. On this episode, I introduce you to some human beings that live on the street. Hear them and see them, maybe for the first time. Invisible Voices, right now on Try to Keep Up. We start with a celebrity. Well, as close to being a celebrity on these streets as you can get. Gord, actually known as Wheels, is a common sight maneuvering his chair throughout downtown Toronto. We've known each other for a few years, actually.
Yes, we have. We interviewed each other before, haven't we?
We have, and you look just as young.
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 62.
62. Now, your name is Gord, but everybody knows you as Wheels.
That's right.
What if someone came along, offered you a job, said, we're going to get you off the street? How would you react?
I don't need a job.
Why?
Because I'm happy here.
You're happy.
Quite happy.
I want to come back to being happy, because that's important. But let's talk about how you ended up here. You have a degree.
Yeah.
From
U of T.
U of T. And that degree is?
Mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineering. And that's what your profession was.
Yeah. Like I said, my first job site was Ontario Place. Cadillac Fairview Eaton Center.
So you had and that must have been a well-paying job.
Yeah, it was all right.
And then what happened in your life that changed everything?
Lost my father. My best friend. Changed my life.
So what happened?
He died of cancer, and I didn't take it well, and I ended up in a mental health center.
What happened in there?
Had me on medication and shock treatment, and then I left. I was in Ottawa. I left in the middle of winter time. I had nothing. And I ran into a man that gave me clothes and boots and a couple of bucks. Just like that. And I never believed in God or religion. I do believe in a higher power, because he's looked after me ever since. I've never gone without. I seem to be taken care of.
I'm going to go back even further. I want to know about you as a little boy. Did you grow up in Ottawa?
No, I grew up in Toronto.
What were you like as a little boy? I'm really interested.
I was a bad guy. I was bored with school, so I was a class clown, always in trouble.
Always in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, when public school, me and this kid, his dad owned a restaurant. We were selling booze in public school. We got caught. Of course, we ended up in our homeroom was the vice principal's office. I was always in trouble. So I quit working probably 25 years ago.
So,
I was an alcoholic.
so it's the booze, it's the loss of your dad, mental health issues, and that's why you're here.
That's right.
Somebody could look at you though and say, and this I promised we'd get back to the happy part. So someone could look at you and say, "This man is not happy. How could he be happy? How are you happy?"
I'm happy. I'm happy as a clam.
Why?
I love it out here. I love the freedom. I love meeting the people. I love the life. I love the challenge. What would I be if I wasn't here? Sitting at home watching TV? What fun is that?
Where did you sleep last night?
In the Esplanade, right by the metro.
In an alleyway or where?
Just right outside the metro. I got
Right
warm.
in front on the street.
I got warm clothes.
And then you get up, and what's a day like you for? What do you do from hour to hour?
It's an adventure every day. I meet people. I have a good time, just like I met you. Life's wonderful. I love it.
Last time we talked about your mom.
She's all right.
Do you still talk with her?
Yeah,
How often?
we're all good. A lot.
A lot, yeah. And what does she think about this? Has she ever tried to get you off the street?
Yeah, she knows I'm happy though. Can I get a cigarette, brother, please?
So that's all right. Come on over. So you live off people off the street. So, you're just getting a cigarette here right now from a gentleman who is being kind enough to share a couple of smokes with you, actually. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he put a couple of smokes in a pack for you. That's great. Thank you. So you're just asked a guy walking by for a cigarette?
I'm telling you, there's people that have no emotion at all. Nothing. They don't even acknowledge you as a person. Don't give you the time of day. I was on the subway the other day, asked for the time.
So you're on the subway asking someone for the time.
Rush hour. The subway was loaded. Nobody would give me the time. They all looked at me goofy.
Nobody would give you the time. Nobody would just simply say, "Oh, it's such and such."
No. They all look at me like they're stuck in space.
What do you think? Are they scared of you? Are they disgusted by you? Are they just like ignorant? Like, what do you think?
I think they're not real. I don't think they're human.
It's a community out here.
Yeah, we're like a family. There's good ones and bad ones, though. There's crazy ones. But there's a lot of good people that are homeless. We help each other.
What's going to become of you, do you think?
I guess I'll just fade away.
I think we'd miss you. I think definitely there would be something missing from the streets without wheels.
I'll never be gone. I'll always be here.
You're always going to be here? Yeah. So,
Gone, but not forgotten.
Next, Glenn's story. In sharp contrast to Gord, Glenn is not happy. I met him a while back, and he asked me at that time if he should kill himself. Because, well, that's what he feels people tell him to do. This gentle soul daily is told where to go if people talk to him at all. I sat down on the sidewalk with him to get his story.
we're on University Avenue. It's about 2 in the afternoon. It's a nice afternoon. We're around all these towers of power. We're in fact sitting in front of a bank, everybody rushing along, going to work. And here's Glenn sitting here right now. Do people even see you, Glenn?
People don't really take too much notice of me. No, they just walk by and stuff. I find it. So the city is. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I should be honest or not about this. People like Toronto. I'm not. I lived here all my life. I'm not really a big fan of Toronto, but it's sort of okay. But my reality doesn't really have much of a reality. Some people talk to me. Some people give me change on the street. Some people have conversations. I do have conversations with certain people, and that's about it.
There's so many questions I want to ask you. Let's just start with, who is Glenn? Tell me about Glenn Bell.
Okay, Glenn Bell was just an average sort of.
Well, let's start right at the very beginning.
Okay.
Glenn Bell was born
In Toronto,
when?
1964, February 12th. And what else?
Well, okay, so that makes you almost exactly 1 month older than me.
Yeah, I'm 55 years old.
Yeah, same here. So now you were born here in Toronto, and you lived at home with mom and dad.
Lived at home with mom and dad all my life. We lived in an old sort of rundown house. I shouldn't say rundown, but we're sort of rundown. And I had an average life. My past, I didn't have very good school, and I wasn't very, maybe, I don't know if it was intelligent. I just didn't have the grades to sort of pass, so I sort of failed high school. Then I dropped out. Oh, you can ask.
No, please don't let me interrupt you. But
I dropped out, and then I sort of became, this isn't going to sound nice. I know you might not like this. I sort of became a failed sort of run-of-the-mill, I don't know if I should say it, bummy type of guy.
why don't you want to say that?
I don't know, because maybe some people won't accept that. Some people don't accept it. Some people say, he's a bum or something. No, I'm not a bum. And they get all mad. They get all upset and stuff.
Were you still living at home?
Yeah, I was still living at home. The only thing about me was I had a really good Christian reality. I had a Christian life when I was 16. I started my Christian beginning. And my Christian life lasted for about 28 years. No, 16 to 28. I was 16, I was 28 when my Christian life died out.
Tell me a little bit about Glenn Bell as a child.
My childhood, I was very, I guess I was sort of, what do you call it? A bit of a rascal. Sort of, I swore, I used lots of swear words, I laughed at people. I was sort of a bad boy, sort of bad little boy.
What did you do for fun?
For fun, we just went on camping trips with brother-in-law and sister, which was nice. We went to shows, drive-in movies, which they don't have anymore. Drive-ins are mostly all gone, and stuff like that. Yeah.
You had it was a relatively normal and average childhood. So it begs the question: how did Glenn end up out here on the street?
My housing was always empty, so I had nothing to sort of stay in housing. So I sort of choose the alternative of living on the street because there was nothing there. There's nothing here. So being out here was more realistic than being in empty housing with nothing.
So what's an average day for you like? So just let's go through today. What happened today? Where did you sleep?
Today I slept in my rooming house. It's empty. I slept there. I woke up and I came out and I've been out all day. I drink coffee, I smoke cigarettes, and I just lounge around. I float around.
So where have you been today?
Today I was at Gerrard and Sherburne. Then I went, I was at Spadina for a while. Then I was at College Park, College of Spadina. And then I came back here to university and Dundas.
This isn't the first time you and I have talked. And we met over on Bay Street a while ago. And
we met on the subway too.
Yes, that's right.
That's where I seen you, yeah.
So, but you told me something that really, it made me sad when we were talking over on Bay Street. Tell me about that.
My sad reality is I have a death part and a suicide part that I can't fight or fix. And it seems like I'm promoted to die all the time.
Promoted how? Who?
It's a thought. It's a very abnormal thought, but it might be to do with other people. It might be to do with a psychological problem, but it's constant suicide in the brain part that makes it sort of subconscious. The self-conscious is, what do you do? What can you do?
Now, have you seen anyone about this?
I went to see a lot of psychiatrists in different hospitals and stuff. I went to Newmarket in Aurora, north of Aurora, and I went to see a psychiatrist there, and they said, we can't help you. We can't do nothing for you. And they left me all alone, and they just left me to my own devices. So I couldn't get any help at all from any psychiatrists or doctors. And I've been seeking for help to sort of keep myself living, but I can't get any help. It's not a nice feeling. It's sort of like it's just horrible. It's a horrible brain feeling. It's not nice. It's not nice.
How do people treat you out here?
People here are casual. Some of them are casual. Some of them smile. The odd one smiles. A lot of people can be very abrupt. And I'm going to be honest, I hear a lot of cruelty and hate.
What do they say to you?
I hate you. Go to hell. I don't know if I should swear. It's okay to swear?
You go ahead. Be
Okay,
you.
as long as that's okay. I'll go F yourself, F you, drop dead, kiss my rear end, stuff like that. So I constantly hear that, and that's what I hear outside. And abruptness. Like one guy, he was standing up here, he was over here, and I was standing there, and just because I was behind him, he turned around as soon as he spotted me, he said, F you, F off, or something. And I said, why are you saying that? Why are you like that? I said, F off. So
How do you make money?
sometimes I panhandle a bit. I'm not a very good panhandler in the city. In Aurora, I can make like $40 within like 5 or 10 minutes. They give me lots of money. But here, I just make maybe the odd $5, $2, $1. And I got my trustee money from the Public Guardian.
You don't drink.
I don't drink any alcohol.
You don't do drugs?
And I don't do any drugs. None.
So where does your money go?
My money goes on cheap cigarettes and coffee. And the odd drink like pop or some other drinks.
Something else really disturbed me about what you said, and you said you're not eating. Why?
If I'm being honest, the reason I'm not eating is I'm trying to die. I know that doesn't sound nice. And I figure if I keep on not eating, keep on going, I'll lose weight and eventually die that way. I know it's not a very nice thing, but I'm being honest, my suicides never end. It's sort of like Maxwell Smart when all the doors close at the end of the Get Smart series, and he goes behind that last closing door.
Why don't you get a job? 'Cause that's what people are going to say.
I'm going to be honest. I attempted to work. I can do basic cleaning. I can clean floors, mop floors beautifully. I know how to do. I practiced that for 7 years. I can clean washrooms and stuff like that, and I can do basic layman's work by stocking shelves.
So why don't you do something like that?
I could do it. It's to get the job though is hard. People don't really want to hire me, so it's hard to get work.
So as these people just pass you, I mean, people are sort of giving us some looks now, but sometimes they just try and look the other way. If you could have a chance, if they would stop and say, "Hey, how are you?" What would you want them to know about you?
I would just, I don't know. I would just say hi, how are you, and I would be very, very casual with them, I guess. To know about myself, I might just say I'm sort of giving out my sort of life story. Yeah. And someone might be interested in it.
It is interesting. You're an interesting person.
Yeah.
Just you talking with it. I am so glad that I met you. I honestly
I'm
am.
happy I met you too, Kevin. Yeah.
You've given me pause for thought. You've shown me and taught me that someone sitting with on the cement in front of a bank isn't a bum, isn't useless. That there is a place on this earth for you and a reason for you to be here.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to say. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks a lot for that.
I mean, but it's true. I mean, you do have something to offer, and I think, Glenn, this world would not be better off without you.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. That's a nice thing to say. Thanks a lot.
If you could get a message to the world, all right? You have a chance right now.
Yeah.
If you could get a message that everyone needs to hear, and I don't care what the message is.
Yeah.
I don't care where it comes from.
I think everyone should try to, if they could. I don't know if they can do this or not. They might not care, or they might say it doesn't matter. I wish people would be a little bit more kinder and considerate of other people and maybe help people if they could. But I don't know if the world's really going to do that or not. But I wish they could change the way they are to make the world a better place and a nicer place to live if they could do that. That's my message.
And now, some final words. There's no doubt in my mind that almost every decent person wants to help end homelessness. We are, however, a world of easy answers and quick fixes, then we move on to the next problem. Well, there are no easy answers here. We can't even think about ending homelessness without addressing affordable housing, living wages, and mental health, to name a few things. At the very least, we need to completely overhaul our shelter system. It can happen, but it would take at least a generation. While we wait, there is one thing that can be accomplished right now, right here, this hour, this day. We can recognize a person living on the street as a human being. A nod, a simple hello, an acknowledgement of their very existence. You see, it all comes down to the most basic right that we should all be afforded: the right to dignity.
Keep on moving. My train, my train, my train, my train, my
COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey coronavirus, I want my life back. Well, hey coronavirus, I want my life back. Well, hey coronavirus, I want our life back.